What's up? So, Will's Trading Adventure here, back for another week of trading. Hopefully, this week is, as good as pretty much the last 2 weeks have been. The coronavirus is really helping us out a lot, as terrible as it sounds. And it is terrible. When there's a crisis in the country or the world, there's companies that benefit from it. And traders who trade those company stocks also benefit from it. So as some of you may know or have read or seen, starting in February, so February 3rd, it's the first trading day of February, I'm going to reset this account up here. I'm going to reset it back to $30,000, and I'm only going to make trades while sitting at my desk. I will not trade after I end the stream, and that's going to be it. I mean, this past basically month, I've either done well in the morning and still made trades in the afternoon, or I made paper trades because I wasn't at my desk because my boy was sick last week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Of course, Monday the market was closed, so it wasn't an issue. But it's just I don't know. It's hard to keep up with, So I'm only going to trade when I'm at my desk. I'm not going to mess with resetting the account unless something happens, like a stock's going into a halt and I buy like 10,000 shares, and it was after like the halt had happened. If something like that happens, I'm not going to count the win or loss, because I'm trying to be as realistic as possible with this simulated account. So, I'm going to reset it. Only trade when I'm at my desk. I will continue to do a pen and paper trade in the first 2 minutes. Not being able to trade in the first 2 minutes is ridiculous and unrealistic for live trading. I like being able to jump into stocks that are moving in the first minute, especially if they're very low float, like in NVC, for example. Friday. Well, no. Well, yeah, I mean, right here. This is a 5-minute chart. Let's see if I can, well, let's get rid of that. First minute just shoots from, let's see, opens at $6.52, and within the first minute it's at $7. So that's 50 cents in the first minute. And then the second minute it's up at $7.30. So, I mean, almost $1 in the first 2 minutes, and you can't trade that on the simulator because it won't fill your orders. So I will continue to do pen and paper trades, and I will continue to upload those manually into TraderView. But I will, if I need to confirm to everyone, that what I'm doing, I can try to do commentary the first like 2 minutes. But like, oh, I'm looking at this, I'm going to get in here, okay, there, I'm getting out, because, most people who follow me know when I buy in, I buy, like, for example, if I buy 2,000 shares, I'll sell 500, 500, 500, 250, 250, as long as it's continuing to go up. If it's coming down, especially if it's below my entry price, I'll just get out. But it is what it is. Let's go over the watch list. My main watch is in NVC. This thing has been a beast since the coronavirus has come out. Since there has been a case in the U.S. back here on January 21st, had its big run. I think this was last Tuesday. Yeah. So on this day, I made like $19,000. It was all pen and paper because I wasn't at my desk because my boy was sick. So, was that Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then this would be Monday. Okay, so yeah, Tuesday. So yeah, that's going to be my main watch for continuation. It's having a nice little gap up now. It closed Friday at $8.47, and it's currently, bouncing around at the $13 mark. So that is definitely my top watch. Then we'll just go from the top work down. AHPI, also running off the coronavirus. Kind of light volume, but Friday it traded 1 point. No, is this the right stock? My boy's in the background screaming and making all kinds of noises. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Let me pull something up. Make sure I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah, this is it. For some reason, I thought it traded 1.6. So 4.6 million shares. Traded 4.6 million shares when on average it's like 20,000, 13,000, 20,000, 40. I mean, it usually trades on average like 50,000 shares or less. And Friday it traded 4.6 million. And if I'm not mistaken, it's like 2 million in float. Let me just confirm that really quick on Yahoo Finance. AHPI. And I'll just use the app for this on my phone because it's quicker and easier than trying to use the computer. 3 million on Yahoo Finance, so perfect. I'm going to keep this on watch. It did have, it's got a little gap up in the AM, not crazy, but if it gets volume, 3 million float, it could definitely take off, especially if it breaks $5. It's already above all moving averages. Doesn't have a history of spiking, but it does back here, years ago. But the news this time is, more significant. I would say, because it has to do with the coronavirus. Next on my list, CODX. The only reason I'm watching this, so it gapped up Thursday and then completely sold off. And then Friday it did this like little U shape, had a little bit of a comeback, but could not get to the high or get to the close of Thursday. And right now it's gapping all the way up to 273. The high or the open Thursday was right around 273. So it's right around the open of Thursday. So if it opens up and starts to sell off, obviously I'm not going to watch it. But if it opens, like a gap and go situation, we might be able to get some trades in. But it has a history. You can see here, here, and here. It has a history of gapping up and selling off. So I'm going to leave it on my watch list. It's not going to be one of my top watches, but I am going to watch it. LLIT. So this is a super low volume stock. This is the one. Okay, 1.6 million shares. And you see right now it's getting some action here in pre-market. But so it's got a really nice gap up. And it's a healthcare stock, so it's probably running off the coronavirus. So, and this might have been the one that was no, it's 15 million in float. So the float's a little higher, but the price is cheap. We're going to keep it on watch. Whoops. NBC, we already went over. T-Con. It's not having a gap up. I just left it on my list because if it can break this 200 moving average, it could get a nice move, but that's the only reason. I'm not going to have it on my chart. I've just got this alert set. If the alert goes off, I'll pull up the chart. TRIL, it's just been, it's just had a nice run up. If it breaks over the alert, I'll pull it up. I'll be looking for a break of $5. If it gets a break of $5, then I'll be interested in it. TWMC, mid candle breakout pattern. It might bounce off like the 200 moving average, but it'll have to get some volume. It'll have to definitely stay above $5. So, yep, that's all I have on watch for now. We will switch over to Sean's commentary, and I'll be turning off my mic. Good luck, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Very hard. And we have APT manufactures masks and protective apparel. Okay, so look at that. So that company's been getting a ton of exposure. And why is that? Go to CNBC.com. What's the homepage? Look at all these people wearing masks. So imagine, again, the supplier of the masks, such as APT, they're obviously getting a lot of business. We have LAKE. LAKE, makes protective clothing. So again, LAKE, this one has been ripping and spiking for about the past 5 days. CODX, we already know that right here. CODX, that was the top gain in the past 2 days, is developing new tests for the new coronavirus strain to try to come up with some sort of treatment. VIR, I haven't really heard of too much VIR, but that one's moving on up. That looks like a newer IPO. Includes an antibody for another coronavirus strain. So again, they're looking for. We have a library of multiple fully human. I mean, this looks like a newer IPO. That thing could possibly go crazy. We have INO. INO, that's been pretty good. INO, that one has been trying to move on up. Obviously, NVAX, that was a top gainer last week, launched a program to start, looking for a vaccine. NNVC produces medicine to fight viruses. Obviously, that's the biggest one. I mean, here's your watch list right here. Like honestly, like we could talk about a lot of different hoopla, but it's like this is your watch list. Honestly, these are amazing plays right here that all have to do with the coronavirus. So I do kind of want to type these out to say stocks that have to do with the coronavirus that can spike today. And these are all ones that are kind of different fields sometimes, such as some are treatments and some are suppliers of masks, but every single one is moving on up. So we have APT, CDIX, VIR. We are going to have BCRX, INO, NVAX, NNVC, CBLI, CERS, mRNA, AEMD, AZN. So again, Jay Woods, thank you, buddy, for this press release. That is absolutely awesome. Make sure you guys go check that out if you guys have not yet. And these are all ones that you guys 100% want to go look at because these are going to probably be the best movers at the start of the day. And you might say, well, Deck, why are these the best movers at the start of the day? What about, is there any sort of news? Is there any sort of like low float press releases that could take on off? I mean, yes, there are some low float press releases that could possibly get a little bit of movement today, but as we know, I mean, this is all over the news. This is where people are looking at. So, what low float press releases are there today? Which ones have the best potential to go on a nice big spike and to go on a nice big rip? There are two. There's EYPT and TROV. Now, really, TROV is the only one that you want to be looking at. EYTP is a little too big in float, to be honest. It's about 60 million in float. Now, EYPT does have an exclusive license agreement, and as we know, just studying our keywords look for on hot press releases, we know right away that our keywords list is going to have a 3-star word, which is agreement. And whenever we have a licensing agreement, we know right away that it's going to be a good press release. So we have 3-star words, keywords look for on a hot press release, and we know right away, right when we see that 3-star word of agreement, that stock is going to be one that we want to be looking at. I'll post that list over in chat. So of course you guys have it, but you guys see the word agreement right here. We don't need to know anything else about EYPT, but once we see the word agreement, we know that that stock is going to have potential towards it, right? That's where we know that stock's going to have potential to start moving on up. What's it? EYPT. There we go. EYPT. And EYPT, not really that much volume. It had a little bit of a gap up, but that's why, again, we really don't want to touch it because it is 60 million in float. So you don't really need to be, watching that play. TROV, TROV is a lower float play, and obviously that means we can get more volume and get more hype. And TROV demonstrated, always a great word when you demonstrate, usually talks about what their drug's doing, so that's always nice. Effectiveness, obviously when we demonstrate our effectiveness, we're demonstrating what it can do and what can affect. And this has confirmed tumor regression. So it has demonstrated effectiveness of tumor regression. That's always a very good thing to see, right? That's always very good, and that's what could bring in some nice big hype and bring in some nice big volume towards this play. So if we take a look over on TROV, we can go and check out the float right here, 6 million in float. As we know, guys, if you guys are new, float is the shares offered to the public. The lower the float, the bigger the spike can be because the float's the shares offered to the public. So it's the supply. So if there's a high demand and a low supply, the stocks go on very big spikes, and that's how we can make big money. If you're asking what's considered low float, anything under 2 million, 1 million, that's super low float. Anything under 5 million is what we like to see. 6 million is like borderline, but stocks that are lower the float, better the rip, better the spike, better the takeoff. So TROV, what we'd want to be looking for, we'd want to see a break of 206 today. 206, the 200-day moving average. Notice last time it came up to the 200-day moving average, started falling. After that, it ran up to the 200-day moving average, started falling. After that, it came up towards 205 last week, and now started falling. So the stock just came out with the press release, break of the 200-day moving average. That's where that stock can start getting a potential. That's where that stock can start bringing in some volume. If you need a little example, again, look at NNVC about the float. NNVC, the stock went from $3 to $13.50. What's the float over on this play? As you guys can guess, it's probably pretty low, right? It's only 2 million. So always look at that. That is absolutely huge. Right now, though, these are the hottest plays. So again, I typed it out. Please take a screenshot of this. I'm actually just going to copy and paste this and put it right in my notepad because I know these are the stocks that really are the only ones that truly matter to me at the bell. So, just being completely blunt, completely honest, I don't really want to be talking about other press releases. I don't want to be talking about, hey, maybe the stock will randomly start getting some volume towards it. We know everywhere we look, if that's, over on our morning newsletter, if we turn on our TV, if we look over on CNBC.com, everyone's talking about the coronavirus. We can also see that over on the SPY. The SPY, again, biggest red day of 2020 was on Friday, where we started seeing confirmed cases in the United States. That worries traders, that gets traders scared. Traders start taking out their money, and then what happens? The SPY starts dropping. So that is, very large. Look how big the SPY dropped this morning. I didn't even realize how big that was. We were all the way up at 333. We basically dropped about $10. Look how big. We're about to give back about 2-week gains. I mean, the market's going to open up probably with a 200 to 300 point drop right here. This is about a $10 drop right away. And this is all from that. So where do you think everyone's looking at? That's the only thing that we should be focused on. That's one of the only things that we should be looking at. Now, if you're still saying, Deck, I'm just not a big coronavirus type of guy, obviously, no one wants to be a coronavirus type of guy, but that is the trend. If you're just not liking those plays, the best mover would be LLIT. So anything other than coronavirus, one of the best movers would be LLIT. I will double check over on CBLI what's going on over there. But LLIT, this is a stock, no news. So LLIT has no news, but this stock was a top gainer on Friday and is having some continuation from after breaking the 200-day moving average. As we know, the 200-day moving average is a very strong resistance. Just like if we look back on TROV, every time we come up to the 200-day moving average, we get rejected, correct? So now when we break the 200-day moving average, we get a lot of volume. Same exact thing that's happening right here. We come up to the 200-day moving average, we broke it, then it starts getting a lot of volume, starts getting a lot of hype. That volume and hype carry it over into this morning where we have a gap up all the way up towards around that 215 mark. But LLIT does not have any sort of news towards it. There's no filing, there's no PR that I'm seeing, nothing along these lines. This is more of just volume and momentum. If we take a look at this play, we can just put the stock right on a trend line. And if we put the stock on a trend line, you can see that this is currently on the bullish side. As you guys know, if you want to play LLIT, all you guys have to do is play that trend line. Put the same exact trend line you see on the live stream, and as long as it stays on the top of that trend line, it is considered bullish. The moment it cracks that trend line, that is when it is considered bearish. So that's how we play trend lines. Very easy, very simple. Stay on the top, it's bullish. Once it goes below, that's where all stop losses are hit, and that's usually where you see some sort of sell-off. So LLIT is good to go until it falls probably beneath around 210. When it falls 210, that's where things are going to start getting a little bit more ugly on that play over on LLIT. All right, last one I do want to go check out is going to be CBLI. Let's see over here what's going on here. CBLI. January 24th had a press release. That was on Friday, that was on Friday, and that was a filing. So what's the filing on CBLI right here? All right, this stock came out. We want to take a look at this right here. This came out with a 13G. If you guys don't know what a 13G is, a 13G SEC filing is similar to a 13D, and it's used to report a party's ownership of a stock which exceeds 5% of the company's total stock issues. So it's usually when someone buys over 5% of the company. So what do we have here? I think we have for each person 597,000 shares, 176,000 shares. So this is a 13G. If you need a little bit more help with 13Gs, I will post this right here if you want to dive into it and kind of look at this article really quickly. The 13G, you can check that out. And then also I'm going to post right here CBLI. CBLI, and that is the 13G. Kind of goes hand in hand. So CBLI bringing in a little bit of volume from that 13G, and that's usually when we have ownership or someone acquires more than 5% of a company. So that's why that stock's getting hyped. Now imagine, well, Sean, why would that stock move up because of that? Well, imagine if someone bought 5% of the company. That means someone's buying a large amount of shares. For what reason? Maybe they knew something. That shows a positive outlook on the stock. So, that's why CBLI is getting a lot of hype and a lot of attention right now. Let's put that over on the bottom level too right here. You guys are saying large spread. Not that large of a spread. That only has about a 7-cent spread right now. So it's not that big, scream. Just it's only 8 cents, 330 and 338. I consider a big spread, 25, 30, 50 cents, maybe a dollar. That's a big spread. So NNBC, this stock is trying to move on up still, trying to get a little bit of hype, but that's what it comes down to, guys. It really comes down to kind of picking the winner that you want. These are all the top plays right here, and I'm sure these are going to be the plays that are all going to be popping up on our top gainer board in the morning. These are the ones you want to look at. These are the ones you want to focus on. These are the plays that have the best potential and can get you the best volume. But it really comes down to what? Kind of just trying to focus on. Really just kind of comes down to focusing on saying, hey, which one is going to continue to get the mob. As of now, it obviously looks like the main mob play is going to be NNVC. Now that is a little bit more pricey, and some people say, hey, I can't afford NNVC. Well, there's a list of about 9 other top plays right there. So definitely be watching them all because they all have a lot of big time potential towards them and a lot of big time hype. Yep, LACK. Yep, LAKE. Could definitely add that to the list. If it's not there, I apologize. Yep, definitely add that to the list. LAKE. All right, cool. So, I just wanted to, of course, go over our morning newsletter. We're going to be going into some game plans as well in the next few minutes. Also, little side note, guys, if you guys have not checked out some of these new lessons I've been putting out, got a lot of positive feedback from them, and a lot of these lessons that I've been doing, guys, they're a little goofy, but at the same time, it's just me trying to teach you guys in a very fun manner. So I'm having fun with it, and also again keeping it very educational. So I want to keep you guys entertained, and I want to keep you guys laughing and learning at the same time. Make sure you guys go check out these lessons. I posted 2 of them. I know I posted one on Friday, but I also posted a brand new one last night. Top 5 emotions to avoid in stock trading. Absolutely awesome. So again, go watch this, go check this out. This is me in front of the camera actually talking about these top 5 emotions, and a lot of funny clips in there as well. So make sure you guys go check it out. Stock Sniper Rick, what are your thoughts on the SPY? I mean, right now the SPY is probably going to continue to fall until we find some sort of vaccination or some sort of slowdown in the coronavirus, because the more it spreads, the more the market falls. And why is that? Well, that there's going to be airline limitations. Airlines are a huge factor in the SPY. It's a $1 billion industry, and if we start cutting off flights to China, and imagine all of a sudden it starts spreading to different countries, and then we start cutting off different countries, and imagine if it starts really taking over the United States, and we can't start flying because people don't want to spread it even more, right? So it's it all drizzles down. It can go to from airlines, right, which hurts the economy, but then that also hurts hotels, and then hotels are going to hurt different businesses that are smaller than them, and it's just going to keep going down, 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 down as a chain, and that just affects the SPYs. The SPY is made up as all the top 500 companies in the United States. Thank you, 500,000. Definitely appreciate it. Loving the new lessons and the new videos. Again, thank you for the support. So yeah, so it's 9:23 right now. Let's go over some of the top plays we should focus on. Number 1, NNVC. NNVC, guys, this is the granddaddy. This is the godfather of the coronavirus plays. And why do I say that? Well, this has had the biggest spike so far out of all of them. So yes, there has been NVAX, which has gone from $4 to $10. And yes, there has been CODX so far that has gone from $1 to 277. And yes, there's been all these other plays, of course, out there like APT, which has gone from $4 to $7. But nothing has gone bigger so far from $3 all the way to 13.50, a $10 spike, right? That's account changing. That's life changing. A $10 spike, that's huge, right? If you have a $3,000 account and you put in 1,000 shares and you held it, for let's say this whole day or the past 3 days, you're making over $10,000 on this trade from a $3,000 account. So, that's why this one is so big. Now, NNVC, what do we see? We definitely see that we have a lot of support right around $12. Does anyone disagree with me on this? And why do we have a lot of support right around this $12? Well, if you look at the past, we have a lot of consolidation. The stock also hit $12, came back on down. Hit $12, came back on down. Consolidation at $12, started coming back on down, and now the stock is starting to make a little bit of a move. If it does fall, you do have a little bit of support back down towards around that 1150-ish mark as well. I always put support in blue. Now, we have some lighter support right around this. Get rid of this real quick. We have some lighter support around this 1150 mark. Really quickly, I just want to put out all my support lines. We can always adjust them, of course. And that's our lighter support. And then we're going to have some resistance right here at around 1350. What do you think the goal is? What do you guys think the main goal is of NNVC? Where do traders want to push NNVC up to? I'm going to get rid of this bottom 1150. I don't want to add any more to confuse you. So what we have at this moment, we have $12 support, right? With 1250 as light support. We have 1350 as our resistance. And where do you think traders are trying to push this stock up to? Traders are most likely going to try to push this stock up to, let's see if I can get right there, right? $15, right? $15 would be the ultimate goal. That's on that nice $5 increment. $1, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25. That's on that nice $15 increment where a lot of traders are going to try to push this stock right up to that area. So that's going to be the ultimate goal for a lot of traders today. Now, as this day opens on up in the next few minutes, what do you guys want to realize? You guys are going to realize, hey, this is going to probably be the most active play. You can definitely have a limit order down towards 12.50 or $12, looking for the stock to U-shape and run back up towards around 13.50. If the stock breaks 13.50 right at the start, it may just run right up towards around that $15 mark. So this one is going to be probably the crazy one. It's going to be high risk, high reward. What I would do to limit my risk is try to get filled at the lows. But if it does start spiking right at the bell, it may just run right up towards around that $15 mark. So that's very, very important. Let's take a little bit of a morning poll right here. It's going to be a little, sporadic, but let's say what stock will do the best today? So what stock is going to do best today? Is it going to be CBLI? CBLI had the 13G, which means 5% of the company was bought out by someone. All right, that's good news. But again, that's not coronavirus news. But still, that's the number one top gainer currently with 150% gain. We have LLIT. LLIT, this stock does not have any news, does have a squeeze pattern between the 13 EMA and 200-day moving average. This stock has continuation, nice gap up. Stock is all the way up towards around that 220, nice trend line. After that, we have NNVC. Obviously, coronavirus play, one we want to be watching. EODX, another coronavirus play. Got to be looking at it, see if this play is going to be bringing in any sort of hype. We also have APT, not a treatment type of a stock, but this is like they supply the masks over in China, and that's why APT has been on such a big rip, looking for an $8 break over there. So, I'm also just going to put other small coronavirus plays. All right, so what stock will do the best today, guys? Everyone go ahead, cast your vote, and let's see what you guys are thinking. So everyone go vote, and let's see what everyone else is thinking. Yep, AEMD kind of falls underneath the other small coronavirus plays. I am going to post this list a few times throughout the day. I do not mean to make it repetitive, but I'd rather have everyone know exactly what to be looking at today rather than just, be wandering around asking, where the best plays are going to be. So let's get ready for a great day ahead. My account is fully funded with $100,000. and I'll be able to trade. I'm ready to get after it, but at the same time, I don't want to kind of go too hard without the official kickoff, next week. All right, everyone, cast your vote if you guys have not in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Share the results. Stop the poll. Yeah, that's kind of what we thought was going to happen. NNVC with kind of the blowout right here. 55% of chat votes. The next one is LIT or LLIT, which is next in line. But as I'm saying, guys, I'm not really thinking, anything other than the coronaviruses are really going to be too hot. I'd honestly want to watch like APT to see if that's going to get any sort of volume. But here we go, guys. Let's get ready. Things are going to be moving a little bit fast at the start of the day. So please, please, please just be ready for it. If you are looking for the breakout right at the start of the day towards that $15 touch, it's going to be risky. As you know, I personally would rather look for a bounce play, maybe back down towards, like 1250 or so. That's kind of more personally my style. But NNVC, if you're looking right at the bell, you're looking for a break right up to $15. The market is now live. Happy Money Monday. Let's have a great day ahead, team. I'm looking forward to working with each and every single one of you guys. Keep your eyes peeled on the high of the day momentum scanner, as that is going to tell us where a lot of the volume's moving towards. But we could see NNVC has the majority of the hype, majority of the volume, the majority of traders looking over towards this play. So we definitely want to be ready to rock on this stock. And this thing, if it looks to break $14, it's going to try to get right up towards around that $15 area. So we do got a little bit of CBLI. CBLI still moving on up. And CBLI and NNVC, both these plays are trying to get some hype towards it. So CBLI and NVVC. And I know right in the first minute, guys, things get really crazy. Things get really crazy right at the start. So we got CBLI trying to push on up. NNVC's looking for that $15 touch right at the bell right here. So NNVC's looking for that $15 touch. There's $14.99. $14.99 high of the day. CBLI also starting to push right here. That's from the 13G. That has a $5 target. So we have NNBC trying to run up to $15. It just hit $14.99 before its small little sell-off. That could easily break, though, in the next few minutes. And we have CBLI, which is trying to run up to $5. As we know, guys, $5 increments are usually where stocks try to go up to. But wow, this market is hot right now, guys. We are seeing a lot of movement in many different plays. Traders look like they are just going after it because of the coronavirus. CBLI having that 13G. But notice what we have, guys. Notice how our targets are being hit. NNVC right up to $15. CBLI right up to that $5 range. But the scary thing is, of course, buying at these prices, you are buying after the spike has already happened. So you are getting a little chasey. Right here, though, NNVC running with momentum still, just broke up $15. Now you'd probably look for dollar increments. If you break through $17.50 or $18, they would probably try to push it up to $20. So that's probably what would happen if it starts breaking, let's say, like $17 or anything along those lines. Traders probably would try to push this all the way up to 20 at that point. So right now, NNVC, they're $16. So this thing is getting a little bit wild, getting a little bit crazy. Bounce play would be back down towards around like 1375. If this thing starts breaking like 1750, though, traders may start saying, hey, let's just go all the way up to $20 at this point. So NNVC getting definitely very crazy all the way up to 1717. Watch that high of the day momentum scanner. 152 new high of the days in the first 2 minutes of the day. Guys, what a crazy start to this week. If you guys are hopping in on these plays, congratulations. Shout out to you. Again, great job for everyone already. 49 Bravo, $3,000 profit. Taylor Trader, 510 profit. Murano, $2,979 profit. Awesome job, awesome work. Now, if you're saying, oh, I haven't made anything yet, it's okay. We are 3 minutes into the day, and there is a whole lot of potential to come on up today, guys. Do not worry. But it's all about just being smart. I want to adjust these lines out a little bit right here. Get rid of this. Boom. But we definitely have a lot of crazy volume today, and that's a fact. A lot of crazy volume so far today. And that's been a wild start. Yep, we do have a little bit of that $15 support, and then below that is $13.50. Great job. Great job, Rapid. What do you got here? I want to say 13,000 or 3,000. I'm not sure which number it is. But again, amazing work as always. AHPI is going to try to start pushing. If that could start breaking through that 425 mark, that may try to start pushing up towards around $5 soon. Obviously, I want to keep my eyes peeled on NNVC. That's the hottest one, and there's going to be a lot of little plays start popping up right now. After we always see our main two spikes, such as CBLI, right? CBLI, where did it run up to? $5. People started locking in their profits. It's starting to come back on down. What did we just had on NNVC? NNVC just had a nice spike. Now it's starting to come back on down a little bit. Whenever we see our top plays start falling, we start seeing little tiny plays start falling. Right? Imagine throwing a big, huge rock into a lake, right? When you put a big, huge rock into a lake, you chuck it off the shore. What happens? It lands. You get a very big splash, but then you also get like little droplets that also splash as well, right? The big splash is going to be NNVC or CBLI, but again, those little droplets, those aren't really main plays, but they're just for traders running into other little plays trying to start them off. So we do have NNVC right here starting to have a nice little pullback. We may be able to get a nice bounce play coming on up over on NNVC. This is going to be a tough little bounce play. It's going to be a tough little bounce play on NNVC, but we definitely want to be ready for that in case that stock does start coming back on down. We could possibly make some nice money on this pullback right here. So we could possibly make some nice money on this pullback. AHPI is trying to go up towards around that $5 mark. It's just right now trying to nail that perfect bounce play. That's the most important thing. Trying to nail this perfect bounce play over on NNVC. But it's so tough right now to try to get in on this play because we know how risky it can be. Trying to hold up right around this $14 area. HPI is going to try to touch $5. That's on the bottom level too. So HPI is going to try to run up towards around that $5 mark. NNVC is going to consolidate for a little bit and then possibly look for that $15 break. Came on down to those 14s for the moment. And why am I looking at NNVC? That's just because NNVC is the hottest play. I want to, of course, nail that bounce play, but it's just very, very difficult to try to. It is a little bit of a guessing game, which I hate leaving it to. Obviously, I can get in right now at 1420. 1420 sounds like a great area because it just fell from 1780. But at the same time, how much, is the stock actually going to hold its gains? So right now, you're in a little bit of an internal battle, saying what's right, what's wrong, and obviously, you don't want to pull the trigger and be wrong on a play like this because we know how fast it can spike, but we also know how hard it can dump. So that's why you kind of get into a little bit of a pickle, right? And then it kind of becomes a woulda, coulda, shoulda game. Oh, I could have gotten in at 1420, but I didn't. Oh, okay, well, I could have gotten in at 1450 and the stock fell all the way down to now 1460. Oh, what if I pulled the stock at 1420 right now? Am I still going to be able to be in profit? So, I mean, it is a little bit of a woulda, coulda, shoulda game right now on, should you get in right here, but it's a little bit risky. I'm not 100% confident in this move. So that's why I got to be smart here. HPI still again keeping that one on watch. CBLI, how's that one holding on up? CBLI is also having a pretty strong pullback. LLIT, nothing really there. How's APT? I still like that play. APT falling from $8. I think a lot of these plays may have strong pullbacks and then maybe start looking for a breakout later on. It's like NNVC, small little bounce right here. NNVC. So right now, again, just kind of looking around. Crazy start. Only 8 minutes in the market, guys. Only 8 minutes in the market. And as we already talked about, really crazy start. Let's see here. CBLI, LLIT starting to fall. NNVC, obviously, we know we want to watch that. HPI trying to move on up. XTC, and I just feel like, NNVC may crash soon. And if I can, hey, I'll buy that at the bottom of the barrel if I have to. I mean, that one's just, getting a little bit of pops here and there. But that's the thing, guys. We are so early in the day. Do not feel like, oh, I missed out on the quick morning spike. I mean, it's a 50-50 on those a lot of times. It's a 50-50 on a lot of those. Jay Sniggle, shout out to you, $1,300. Crazy legs. I mean, good job, guys. Profits that we're seeing over in Profits Chat are massive, massive. All over $1,000 gains. So again, awesome work over there so far. And I feel like a lot of these plays, guys, this happened NNBC last time. If we look back at NNBC's like past chart history pattern, last time NNBC started spiking at 10:30. So NNBC started spiking at 10:30 on Friday. The day before that, it started spiking at around 12:30. The day before that, it started spiking at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., excuse me, after its morning spike. So NNBC, this stock loves to spike at weird times. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 12:30 over lunch hours. Here's 10:30, and then this morning obviously we have a lot of good volume towards it. But if this stock like falls and crashes, let's say down towards like 11, $10 or something like that, doesn't mean it's done at all. Doesn't mean it is done at all. Because NNBC, being this type of play, it has crashed and has bounced its way back on up. So right now, again, the most important thing for NNBC is to stay above that $15 area. Let's go back to a 2-minute time frame. We can get a little bit of a better view of it. This stock is trying to consolidate right now inside like this little channel. Now we do have kind of our bottom area down towards around 13.25 and towards around $16. But this is NNBC is definitely the hottest play. Now you're like, Deck, the stock has gone from 14.10 to 15.90. It's like we could hop in if you have a big enough count on just like 1,000 shares and look for a scalp. Can you make money like that? Absolutely. But again, it's a coin flip. That's red or black. I mean, if you want to go to the casino, just go do that instead, right? It's like if you want to just go play red or black, if you want to go play a 50-50, it's like just go to the casino then. But NNBC, you're right in the middle of the channel with $14 support, $16 resistance. The stock is trying to get up towards around that $16 area and then re-break it in the future, but most likely it's going to consolidate for a little bit of a time and then start breaking on out again if it's going to break out. Also, this stock is known for those weird times. But two big spikes we saw today, other than NNBC, has been AHPI and also CBLI. So CBLI and AHPI have also been very nice spike. The granddaddy, the godfather, NNBC has kind of been the best mover from there, right? So the granddaddy, the godfather has been NNBC. And that stock, we're still continuing to keep our eyes peeled on to see if that's going to be able to hold that $15 mark. You can look for some possible bounce plays. Usually what happens, I'm going to tell you this right now, is usually what happens, let's add our VWAP. We can see where our VWAP indicator is at. Is usually what happens is the stock is going to come down towards the VWAP. Traders look for the VWAP break or the bounce play. It cracks the VWAP, falls like very low, consolidates like 45 minutes, and then like breaks back above the VWAP later on. Right? That's kind of what's been happening on these plays. Yep. I mean, Trade Ideas is still going to have this right around these areas. Let's see, going towards a 1-minute time frame over on NNBC, 1520. So yeah, I mean, we can still keep pre-market on just for a little bit. I like to usually keep pre-market on until like 9:45 to 10 o'clock, and then I usually take it on off. But I definitely understand, the VWAP does kind of change depending on if you have pre-market on or off. Right now, we're coming on up. Only 12 minutes in the market. I mean, very fast, very hot day, but so far the day's still moving pretty slow. As I said, I want to see this thing drop. I want to see NNBC kind of drop off the world. I want people to think that, where I want to get in is where I think, I want people to say NNBC's done. That's what I want. I want people to say NNBC is done. And that could be all the way like super low because we know this thing the last 5 days it spiked at like the most random times. 10:30, right? Spiked at 1 o'clock, spiked at 12:30 over lunch. It's like if this thing wants to fall all the way down to like $12, $11, that's fine with me. I would think it would still be worth it. CBLI trying to U-shape a little bit. Let's just go through our top gainers. Top gainers, what we have so far. Again, CBLI starting to look like a little bit weaker right here. LLIT, not too much. NNVC, the stock is obviously the one that we're looking at this time. SXTC, not too much. AHPI was a morning spike. So AHPI and CBLI both went on very quick spikes and then both dropped. CODX is a coronavirus play, not really taking on off too much yet. APT, that's also a coronavirus play, not taking too much off yet. And LAKE, also a coronavirus play. The thing is, guys, if NNVC does start spiking and does start going on a rip, this is going to cause sympathy. Now, sympathy in what way? If NNVC is leading the pack and everyone is looking at NVC, which is correct, right? Everyone's looking at NNVC right now. Probably every day trader, every swing trader, every mid-cap player probably has NNVC on their watch list. Now, with that being said, if that's on their watch list, what else is going to start moving? All the other little plays, right? All the other little plays are all going to start moving as well. So we definitely want to make sure that we are on top of our game here, because these could all lead to some very big rips and runs. And as I already typed out, I'm going to type them out again. These are all stocks that have relationship with the coronavirus. So if NNVC, let's say out of nowhere, you just see this play go on an explosion all the way up to $17, I bet you LAKE starts moving. I bet you APT starts moving. I bet you CODX starts moving. I bet you all these other plays start moving as well. So anything related to coronavirus is probably going to just follow what NNVC does. It was the same exact thing. Remember that one time on the cannabis plays? This was like a year and a half ago now, when cannabis was super hot. We had TLRY. TLRY went from $27 all the way up to $304. TLRY, $27 to $304. Every single person was just watching TLRY. And as TLRY spiked, it brought up a ton of other cannabis plays. And when TLRY dumped, it dumped off a lot of big cannabis plays. So that's all it was. So this is kind of the same exact thing, where NNVC is kind of the godfather, the leader here, and all these other plays are just watching to see what NNVC is going to be doing. Zilja fan, I would. Would you say that cannabis stocks were smoking hot? They were at a very time. I don't mean to be too blunt about it, but it was a very good time. They were getting awfully high. We saw a lot of green. Heyo! Let's get those dad jokes out early, Deck. We got a long week ahead. Please get them out early. Okay, you got it. Also, as I stated, guys, many other if you guys have not, just because we have a few seconds here, if you guys have not yet, please, please, please go over, check out my 2 brand new YouTube videos. I have more coming. I've been, making as many videos as I can. Just sometimes editing takes a little bit of while. If you guys have not, this is me standing in front of the camera talking about the top 5 mistakes new stock traders make. We also have top 5 emotions to avoid in stock trading. All very, very important stuff. If you guys have not gone and checked out these 2 videos, please take 1 second out of your day and give them a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. I promise you guys, we are going big on our YouTube channel this year, and it's going to be absolutely awesome, so you guys do not want to miss it. NNVC is back above the 1515 area. So right now, NVC trying to go on a little bit of a pop. As I said, what am I looking for? I'm going to draw this out so you guys can absolutely see what I'm looking for right here. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to make this nice and easy. Boom. Okay, so this is where we're currently at, correct? This is where we're currently at on NNVC. I'm going to make these lines just so you guys can kind of follow along a little bit easier on what my thought process is. So my thought process on NNVC is going to be, I'm going to make this in green. Okay, cool. So what I think NNVC is going to do is, I think this stock may come on up, maybe touch this one more time, start coming back on down. I think we are going to break this red line one more time, and it's going to look like it's going to be a breakout. That's when it starts falling. Comes all the way back down to support, comes back on down, cracks, U shapes later on, and that's where it gets the breakout. Personally, this is the pattern that I think. I know you're kind of thinking, Deck, that's a little bit of an exaggeration on like kind of predicting that far ahead. This is what we've seen the past few times. So I'm thinking this is going to get rejected. I think right here we're going to see a little bit of rejection. We're going to U shape one more time. We're going to break out of the area. So this is going to be, I'm going to put an FB right here for fake out breakout. Then I think it's going to come on down to support. Some people are going to buy in at that support area. It's going to get a small bounce, then crack, fall through the VWAP, and then probably somewhere around like 11 o'clock or so is where I think this thing is going to have its next leg on up. So that is my game plan on this play. And I know you're like, whoa, Dick, that's a very large prediction. I mean, that's kind of just what I'm thinking going off on this play right now. So, I will post this. But at the same time, I just kind of want you to, my prediction. And I know that kind of looks a little childish, what that drawing looks, but at the same time, I think there's a lot of potential behind that. All right, so here's your pullback. So here's the first pullback, right? We came on up as I just stated. Then watch for the little bounce play right here on NNVC. So you're going to have one more little bounce play on NNVC. As you can see, it's trying to stay alive and try to stay build higher lows. Now I think the next U-shape pattern, I think it's going to spike and it's not going to break on out, but it's going to look like it's going to break out. So already kind of got part one down. Part one down was a shape form for another higher low pattern for the stock to be able to continue to move on up. Ooh, this one is again getting a little bit weak. Let's see. Let's see. I mean, at the end of the day, I want to see the dump off. Like I want to see, I want to see it crack. I want to get this thing as low as possible because I do think it's going to be spiking later on today. So if NNBC dumps now, I'm okay with that, to be completely honest, because I want to get this thing as low as possible because I do think at some point this thing is coming back on up. CROV trying to test that trend line right here. Trying to test that trend line at the moment. Here's a little bit of a bounce. There's that green candle, $14, your bounce area. So this stock is trying to hold on up inside its channel. Trying to hold up inside this channel at this moment. See if it can run back up towards around this like $15, possibly break it. I think it's going to take some time. Give it a few minutes here. We want this U shape to form. Maybe another 15 to 20 minutes here, and then that's where we want to get the second, second kind of like fake out breakout. That's what we want. Another little fake out breakout. Again, as I stated, guys, my account is funded with $100,000. Don't believe me? Well, again, don't call me a liar. Well, I'll show you right now. Again, I always like to back up everything I do. So options, buying power right here, my buying power, stock buying power. We are at, bada boom, $104,000. So I'm at $104,000 at this moment. And that is where we're currently at, for my buying power on this play. So that is right from TD Ameritrade, and we are all set. So $100,000 account is funded, ready to rock and roll, going right from my TD Ameritrade account. Everything I do, as I said, going to be completely transparent behind it. So we're going to stay set, stay ready to rock. NNVC still trying to hold on up here. So NNVC trying to hold up this $14 area. I'm still thinking one more touch before the dump. I'm thinking one more touch before the dump, but I would like to see this dump fall on down, maybe, and just get it as low as possible for this thing to start moving on up later on. So NNVC is obviously what we want to look at. Let's go through our other top gainers. Let's go over our other top gainers for our day. So we have CBLI. CBLI is still considered the #1 top gainer of the day, and the VWAP is currently at 393. The stock's at 368. The VWAP is currently at 393. A break of 393. This is where the stock can start getting some good volume. That's where the stock can start getting some good hype, and where the stock can continue to move on up. But it needs to break through 393 and $4 before it starts getting a lot of big time attention. LLIT. LLIT, this stock needs to break through its VWAP. What does the VWAP represent? The VWAP represents the current trend, if the stock is bearish or if the stock is bullish. It's like the flexible trend line on each of the minute charts. That's how I think about it. So if the stock is below the VWAP, it's again a riskier buy because it's already considered on the bearish side. All right. So LLIT, where's the big time buying volume going to come through at the break of the VWAP? So that same exact thing as CBLI. NNVC, this stock is below its VWAP and it's just trying to stay above $14 at this area. I would honestly like to see a little bit of a crack in this thing to come on down. NNVC though, right now, this stock is just trying to fight and stay above $14, having a little bit of trouble, but it's still battling. CODX, trying to make a little bit of a red to green move. Trying to make a little bit of a red to green move over on CDOX. This is still a nice coronavirus play as well. But we know, as we already talked about, NNVC, this is basically the main godfather coronavirus play. If NNVC starts spiking, you're going to see CODX spike. You're going to see APT spike. You're going to see LAKE spike. You're going to see all these plays spike because NNVC is kind of leading the charge here. These are all the top plays for sure. We all want to make sure that we're ready for them. What I personally would like to see is, again, the big time drop. NNVC coming back up towards around that VWAP price right now, back above $15. We're probably going to be looking for another touch of that high. And I think it's going to be a fake out breakout type of play, which means it's going to break and a lot of people are going to hop in. And that's when we'll see that massive red candle back on down. So I think, again, NNVC still has that lot of potential, right? And we'll see if this thing is going to be able to continue to move on up. Here it comes, coming back up towards $15. The VWAP's at 1509. VWAP's at 1509 right now. So right now, NNVC 1509 VWAP price. That's what it needs to get above. How are the markets doing currently? Because obviously we're having some big trouble at this moment. Right now, the Dow is currently down 391 points. We have the Nasdaq down 155 points, and the S&P 500 is currently down 43 points. And that's all because of the recent outbreaks in the markets and the virus spreading to different countries. So there are the current markets. Just posted them for you so you guys can see that. Right now, new high of the day over on ABIO. Most people are still looking at NNVC. And as I said, guys, it's okay if this stock is not breaking out right now. It's okay. Look at the past chart history of this play. You know, it's so hot. So many traders are, aware of this play. I don't think people are just going to give up on this play, even if it does crack huge. Like, even if this play cracks down to $12, $13, I do not think people are going to give up on this play because of how big the current events are in this world, and every single person is aware of this stock. VCNX starting to get a little bit of hype. I'm going to put VCNX up on the top for the moment. VCNX starting to get some nice hype. NNVC, this stock is still, again, upwards around that $15 mark. What's going on with VCNX? Let's look over here, see if this stock has any sort of news or any sort of reasoning. VCNX, what do we have? December 10th was the last press release. What about our last filing? Last filing was on January 23rd. We had an 8K that came out. 8K is going to be an update. It's going to be a filing from the company. And as you guys can see, it entered into a definitive agreement. So we did have an 8K that's based off a definitive agreement over on VCNX. So, yep, thank you, Jeff, as well, for posting that. And I'll post that as well, VCNX. Here's the 8K. Now, of course, we can check out this play and get a little bit more information. Is this in the healthcare sector? Look at this. VCNX, guess what? Healthcare sector. Why is every single healthcare sector spiking? Coronavirus. Now, what else do we have going on here? What's the float like? Float, 3 million in float. So we have a 3 million in float stock in the healthcare sector with an 8K talking about definitive agreement, which is a 3-star word in our hot press release. Notice how we can just put the pieces of the puzzle together and we can start figuring out why this play is going on a nice move and why this play is going on a nice rip. Or we're going to see a lot of plays that spike for no reason at all. But what we want to do is always kind of put the pieces to the puzzle. So if VCNX starts spiking again, we can tell ourselves, oh, wow, you know what? There was credibility behind this play. Hey, maybe I can look for an entry on this play. Okay, I can hop in on the stock. Right? So everything we do, we just want to make sure we have credibility behind it because there are going to be so many different plays that are spiking for not many reasons whatsoever at all. So we want to make sure we play stocks that actually do have the reasonings behind them. So we're going to continue to keep these on watch. And NVC, keep that one on watch right here, guys. If that one starts cracking, we did not break the VWAP yet. So I wouldn't count that. I'm not going to, be a little cheater here and count this as like my second touch. I expect, a little fake out breakout before our big dump. That's usually what happens. Usually we have a nice, nice climb, nice rip, nice pop, and then it's a fake out breakout before like our dump. Ripping 279. If you want the boot camp lessons, you can do the ultimate trading course. Where you say right here, and you can check that out if you like a full course. Or again, you can head over to our YouTube channel, type in Sean Decamar or Decamar Trades, and you will have our bootcamp lessons here. So if you go right here, click my name, Sean Decamar, go to videos, and you're going to have all these bootcamp lessons. Day 1, Day 2, Day 3, Day 4, Day 5, Day 6, Day 7, Day 8, Day 9, Day 10, Day 11. Now, again, in our Ultimate Trading course, we have upwards of like 30 different lessons. Here is like kind of the first 11. So you can go ahead and check these out right here if you're interested on that, ripping. Didn't mean to tag that 8K. So there's your link right there. AEMD, that's starting to move. AEMD. AMD I like a lot because it's only 1 million in float. I like that play a lot because it's only 1 million in float. Now it's good, but at the same time, it kind of makes me nervous because it hasn't been able to bring in that like massive move that we really wanted. Like AEMD's, definitely a good mover, but it hasn't brought in that like massive spike. I feel like if I ever got like a press release behind it, it would absolutely go crazy. Coronavirus interactive map, what's showing us where it's currently at. It's pretty neat to see. So here's kind of coronavirus map on where this is currently at. We can obviously check the United States. We only have a couple different cases. We have that one person in Chicago. I know there's one in Arizona and then one in Fresno. So United States is pretty good. And that's good to see. Something they don't put in the news too much is 59 people have, recovered. So that's, nice to see. This was the first person who got it up in Seattle. Kind of scary stuff, though. Definitely scary stuff. Cristobal, are you talking about today? Best day of your life, $13,000 on VIVO. She's Louise, guys. So VIVO, Cristobal, biggest trade you've ever had, $13,000. So, congratulations on those type of plays, guys. I mean, I understand whenever you have $1,000 day, 5,000, 10,000 plus dollar day, it's an amazing feeling, especially, your first one, that's absolutely huge. So, I mean, even when I make, a good profit, probably even when Rapid makes a good profit over it, you're still super, super excited about, making those gains, especially when you think about how much money you're making in such a short amount of time. And if I can do it, if Rapid can do it, Cristobal can do it, if other people can do it, all right, Taylor Trader $1,000, you guys can do it as well. Right now, NNVC, we're trying to see this play, get a little bit of a crack soon. So right now, as I said, we are fine. If you didn't buy yet, that's okay. we want NBC to crack, or we just want to give it some time, guys, because we think there's going to be a lot more opportunity on this play, and most likely it's just going to take a little bit. Also, little side note, probably the sad news that you guys heard probably yesterday was that Kobe Bryant passed away. This was one of my really big motivations when I was a child and I was a kid. One of the big kind of quotes that stood out to me was, "I made a choice when I was 13." When people watch me play, I want them to leave the gym saying that they just saw a kid who gave everything he had, who had natural abilities, but he played as if he was the 12th man on the roster. If I can be remembered as the person who squeezed every ounce of juice out of that orange ball that he could be, I'll be happy with that. So, what does that basically mean? Obviously, he's just saying it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter how much ability you have. You could be the most talented person in the world. But, besides that, I want to be the person that's working as if I'm the worst player on the team. Even though I could be the best, even though I could be the league's MVP, even though I could be the absolute, best player who ever lived, I want to be working as if I barely made it on the roster and I'm putting everything out on the gym every time I step on that floor. Now, that's obviously a great quote by him, but you can carry that over into your life. You can carry that over into basketball, or you can carry that over into your trading and success. Every time you log on, every time you sit in front of your computer, every time you trade, leave it all out there. Say to yourself, if I'm going to do something, let me do it 100%. What's the point of doing something 50%? What's the point of doing something 70%? You're just doing halfway manner. It doesn't make any sense because you're only going to get halfway results. If you're going to do something, give it your 100%. Make sure again you guys are here to work hard, and you guys could see the amount of people who make money. It's huge, but obviously it takes a lot of work at the same time. On a side note, obviously for the people that are upset about Kobe, that's a very huge loss, of course, and definitely a sad day for especially for like me who loves basketball. So that was big. I remember Kobe's last game. I remember Michael Jordan's last game. I remember, sitting downstairs with my dad when I was like 9 years old, watching him play for the Wizards. And I remember Kobe's last game. I was actually in college, and I was sitting down and watching that last game, and that's where he went off in like the fourth quarter. That was when I was a senior in college. I think that was 2016. His last game was. All right, guys. NNVC starting to work its way back on up. NNVC trying to work its way back on up. Let's see if we get this pop to the fake out breakout that I'm thinking. So watch to see if this is going to get the pop to the fake out breakout. That's what I think is going to happen. Now, I do think the break of the VWAP, you could look for a small entry to see this thing possibly spike on up and get some hype. That wouldn't be a bad idea over on NNVC because I think there still is a lot of potential behind this play. And maybe again, look for a small entry for this thing to take on off. So I'm going to keep this one on high watch because this one may be able to get some volume towards it. So I want to keep my eyes on NNVC and maybe look for 1,000 shares or so if this stock starts breaking 1480 and see if this thing's going to be able to push right here. So right now, NNVC just trying to get that possible break, trying to get that momentum. I'm not in on NNVC at this time, but you could see again, it's trying to break that VWAP area over on NNVC. That's where things are going to get very jumpy on this play. Very jumpy because if it can break this area, it may try to run all the way up towards that old high of $16 soon. So again, here goes NNBC starting to get a little bit of hype, trying to get a little bit of this momentum. Now again, I think that here comes the possible re-fake out breakout soon. I think it's going to be the next fake out breakout soon on this play, where this stock is going to run up towards around this like $16 area or so, I think, and then it's going to have a little bit of a pullback. So again, we had our first little touch over here. We actually our first, second, and I think this one's trying to U-shape to get a break upwards around the $16 mark, and I do think it's going to try to push here. So watch this. I think it's going to break $16 for a moment, and then I think it's going to fall back on down. But if I had to take a guess, that's just kind of like our stock patterns that we usually see. This thing is getting a little jumpy, a little all over the place right now. Just trying to consolidate and hold around the VWAP, but we can see how hot it is. Even though this play hasn't done anything since this morning, we can tell, how much volume is still in on this play and how many people are still interested on this play. So right now, NNBC trying to stay above 15 bucks right now. Make sure, again, guys, something that's very important to me is that every single alert that you put in on chat is credible, right? We love, again, chatting it up. We love helping out traders, but we want to make sure every alert that we put in chat is benefiting others, right? NNVC, $15 support. Watch the break of the VWAP. Hey, guys, break of the VWAP on NVC could be running up towards $16, but look to lock in something around $16. Hey, NNVC, if this stock does come back on down, we have $15 support and then all the way back down to 13.50. Right? We want to make sure that we are constantly helping each other and helping push each other. We don't want to get pumpy and dumpy. We don't want to get spammy. So again, make sure you guys keep that in mind when posting alerts in chat. Right now, again, NNVC trying to continue to move its way on up. I think, as I said, this thing's going to be looking for that $16 break soon, and I think it's going to be a little fake out breakout, though. I think it's going to try to push here. And then I think you're going to see a strong red candle. So I want to see the push and then a strong red candle. Right now, it's just trying to stay above the VWAP. This would be, again, trying to get that little third touch channel breakout pattern, but it hasn't really been breaking out in like the third touch. It's been more breaking out like a little bit after like the strong pullback and where people think it's dead. It's like where people think it's dead is where it's usually like breaking out the best. Notice all these little touches right here. So I think it's gonna have one more push, run up to like 1660, get a ton of people excited, and then huge red candle. That's what I'm thinking. And that's kind of what I've been thinking, kind of calling out for the last little bit now. So let's see if it happens here. What else? We probably have these other plays starting to move on up. All right, let's see. Do we have any of these other plays starting to move on up? Because NNBC is trying to slowly push. A little bit of action over on CODX. AEMD still trying to hold. NNBC still, again, just fighting. NNBC still fighting. CBLI, how are the top two gainers this morning? CBLI still trying to U-shape as well. CBLI is testing the VWAP currently. This was, and still is, CBLI is still considered the number one top gainer of the day. And this is currently up 190%. So this is still considered the number one top gainer of the day. Right now, we're just keeping our eyes peeled on this play. And as I said, I think NNBC is going to have a big, big day today. I really do. But I think it's just going to have a strong dump first. I think it's going to have to scare a lot of people out. And I think a lot of people are going to have to say, oh, the stock's kind of done with. This is over with. This thing is garbage. And that's where it usually starts creeping its way all the way back on up. CLWT and NBC still trying to fight. We're going to see if this can hold on up here. I mean, as I said, this would be the third touch. I think we're gonna. I still think we're gonna get a little bit of a bigger breakout first. You can see we're inside this channel pattern. Starting to get a little bit weaker here. Starting to get a little bit weaker on NNBC. Got up towards highs around 1570. I was more expecting maybe like 1650 or so. So I was expecting maybe like another 70 cents, but we did come up right towards around those highs. Now let's see what NNBC is going to do, because pretty soon is where I'm expecting a dramatic move. We're about 45 minutes into the market. Dramatic move either way. Either a quick pop and a quick dump, or just a quick dump. CODX starting to move on up a little bit, so you can see CODX starting to catch a little bit of that fire. We have NNBC still trying to hold on up. Right now, obviously, that's just the one I'm looking at. I want to see that pull all the way up towards around that 1650 mark, and that's when the stock will start coming back on down. We want to see that pull up towards around 1650. That's where I think, that's what we're looking at right here. I'll put CODX, also a little CBLI action, a little bit of CBLI action coming across the bottom. That just broke the VWAP. So that just broke the VWAP as well. So a couple plays starting to gain volume. I don't think, again, yet's going to be the big time breakout, but I think a lot of these plays have a ton of potential behind them. Right now, NNBC's #1 watch. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know, and I'm more than happy to help you guys out with anything that you guys need. So right now is a great time to ask any questions that you may have. Right now, NNBC starting to push a little bit again. Let's watch it. Watch the fake out breakout here. That's where I think NNBC, again, I want to see that fake out breakout, because that'll lead to that big red candle. And that's where the stock would come back on down, I think, really hard. Let's see that push. Here's the push. Here's the push I'm talking about. So here's $16. Let's see a quick spike now. I want to see a quick spike. We just got to 16 bucks. I want to see a quick spike up towards like 1670. Something really big that gets traders excited. Everyone's going to hop in, and then we're going to see a massive seller, I think, bring it down. So everything's been according to plan so far. Nailed kind of the first little pop on up, then came back on down. Now trying to U-shape. I think, again, we're going to get one quick breakout and then a fake out breakout move. Now, again, you could still play here, as we've been talking about. Like, obviously, I think it's going to be a fake out breakout, but still, we have a lot of, nice potential behind this play. And this thing is still just consolidating. And I think this is still like a beast, an absolute volcano, just, waiting to be woken up. Adding Kane, nice $308 profit. Make sure you throw that over in Profits Chat. Awesome job. Awesome work. Good job, everyone, over in Profits Chat today. Absolutely crushing it. Absolutely killing it. Yeah, I love seeing those nice little profits. And I get it. NNBC is very choppy, right? It's not an easy play. This is the money maker today, but is it easy? Absolutely not. Cam, why didn't the offering on NNBC affect it? I mean, it did affect it, because NNBC, what did it ultimately do? NNBC went from $3.50 to $13.50. It came out with an offering, came all the way back down towards $3.80. but then it just had so much volume, it's like it never even happened. So I mean, NNBC just has so much volume, it's like it never happened. But did it affect it? It dropped $10, so it did affect it. But once people started getting back in this play, everyone just acted like it never even happened. Germinado. Shh. 500,000. You almost want to market order in on something like NNBC. I mean, it's not a bad idea just because it's only a 5 to 7 cent spread, which isn't that big. But at the same time, I mean, I would only market order in on NNBC if this thing was actually spiking, and like I was just trying to get in on momentum. Other than that, I would probably just look for a limit order. Good job, Joel. Good work right there with your $75. Awesome work. Awesome job. Yeah, stock drop and roll. Can NNBC have another offering? It could. It definitely could. We could possibly see one in the after hours or possibly even the afternoon. I mean, there definitely could be. I would watch for any sort of lower lows or any sort of signs that an offering may be coming out in the near future. Excuse me, guys. So right here, it's still the NNBC party. It's currently 10:20. I know the past hour we've been focused on this play. There has been some money making opportunities. That's some, kind of the main thing has been the bounce. The bounce off $14 once, twice, 3 times so far. So there's been again the $14 bounce. About 3 times so far, and that's really been where the real money making has been at. And I know NMEC is all over the place right now. We kind of just want that stock to pick a direction. CVLI, not really too much going on with CVLI. Going through our top gainer list. CVLI, not too much going on. LLIT, that stock's starting to fall. COD, yeah, I mean, and also LLIT. I mean, just look at the lower lows. It's on a clear downtrend, right? We can all see that this stock is just on a downtrend right here. CODX, nope. VCNX, not there yet. Nope. AEMD. AMD is a nice little coronavirus play. What would really get these plays going is any sort of news right now on coronavirus, some sort of new outbreak. It's obviously like a double-edged sword because obviously the news on the coronavirus would make NNBC spike, but obviously we don't want to see the coronavirus like spread or hurt anyone. But that's kind of what would lead to NNBC spiking again. So, we just kind of have to watch out for any sort of news and go from there. So we're still watching and we're still inside this channel at the moment. If you guys do not know how to play channel patterns are very great, very awesome, and absolutely crucial. Make sure you guys get to our video library. As you guys know, we have over 250 hours of lessons in here. Just type in channel. So if you guys want to learn on channel lessons, just type in channel lessons, and this is going to teach you more about channel lessons. Any name that you have, hey, I want to learn more about breakouts and how to find them, type in the word breakout or breakouts. Right? Hey, Deck, I need help with my entries. Just type in, entries or there's NT, depending if I put the lesson as entries or entry, right? So you guys can go look at some entries videos. You guys want to watch some level 2 lessons? Go ahead and type in level 2. I mean, you guys have everything you need right there to take your train to the next level. Make sure you guys are watching that. So NBC still inside this channel. Also, something I want to say, guys. Unfortunately, uh, Facebook kind of messed up our Deckmar Trades page, and we've had that for like 5 years now. But they did like some sort of update, which kind of kicked us from it. So we had to start a brand new Deckmart Trades page on our Facebook, not our Facebook group, but our actual like page. So if you guys didn't mind taking a second and just giving this page a like, I mean, we had over like 10,000 likes and now we're at 0 again, which is obviously a little frustrating and annoying. But if we just had to start that brand new one up right there. So if you guys can go ahead and check that out, if you guys are on Facebook, of course, give that a page a like. We'll be putting all our updates and everything good over there. Sometimes again, technology, you just gotta go with it. You get a weird little update, something happens, and you're just like, hey, you know what? Facebook was like, hey, we're sorry. It's like, okay, I guess. I mean, hey, I'll take the apology. Right now, NNBC starting to get a little bit weaker. Again, support's all the way back down towards around that $14 mark. Just kind of looking around right here. Going to be watching NNBC. All right, nice. Also, something I wanted to say. I just posted that link, guys, for our new Facebook page. If you guys leave a review from the new Facebook page, just because again that all that got banned, if you guys leave a review, I will give you free text alerts for the whole entire next month. So if you guys want free text alerts, send you text alerts right to your phone. If you guys want them absolutely for free, leave a review right at that link on our new Facebook page, and I'll give you free text alerts all month. So once you do that, just send me an email, deckmartrades@gmail.com, or I'll reach out to you and I'll hook you up. No problem. And I'll send you text alerts on my entries, my exits, the hottest press releases. You guys know the drill on those. Unfortunately, Leisha, they are only for, in the United States, so I apologize. But you can still leave a review. But I apologize about that. International text alerts. I mean, I could do international text alerts, but they're just so expensive, and I just don't ever want to charge you guys anything super insane just for. I mean, if you want to pay it, just basically, just the flat fee for it. It just I have to go out and get a mobile plan that costs me money to be able to send you guys over in Europe, text alerts. So I just have to have a plan for that, which is pretty expensive. Jay Sethi group, WhatsApp. WhatsApp is basically the same exact thing as chat, and that's what we're here right here. So, if we had a WhatsApp group, that would just be basically taking away action from the chat. So that's why we don't do that. This is our chat right here. So right now, NNVC, we're still looking for that move because we are still inside this channel. And we're gonna see which way this is gonna break. We may do a quick little channel lesson today, just to kind of um, make sure we're all on the same page. So we actually may do a quick little channel lesson today. Give me like 4 minutes here. I'm just gonna find our channel lesson PowerPoints. So if NVC starts falling on off, we can take 10 to 15 minutes and do a channel lesson today. Because I don't want to take my eyes off NVC. I want to see this dump. And then from there, after that stock dumps, we'll see if this thing can start, moving it back on up. I'll look into WhatsApp or whatever. I'll look into all that, later on this week. No problem whatsoever for you international traders. Just as of now, this is all we have. So I'll look into it though. Again, thank you for the suggestions. Absolutely. So again, Edison and Jay Sethi, I will definitely look into that. So give me about 2 minutes here, guys. I'm going to hop off the mic just for a couple seconds. I'm just going to look for these PowerPoint slides on our channel. Right now, again, NNBC didn't get the fake out breakout, but we were right next to the top. Let's see if this thing starts fading and falling on off. That's ultimately what we want. We want this fading and falling all the way on off, and then we can look for a breakout back on up. But right now, we're getting a little bit of a fade. We're getting a little bit of a drop. Again, as I already showed, guys, my $100,000 account is funded. I am funded and ready to rock. Stock buying power right here, $104,000. I'm ready to rock, and I'm ready to buy big. So I mean, you never know. My life could be changed possibly if I get into a big trade and one of these supernovas happen. Who knows? I could be making hundreds of thousands of dollars on a trade. Let's make it happen, baby. So, let's get ready for this little channel lesson, and then from there, we'll keep our eyes over on NNBC. So I'm fired up. I'm excited. We'll be ready to rock and roll in the next few minutes here, and we'll make sure we're keeping our eyes over on these plays. If you have any questions, please ask, and we'll start our channel lesson up in about 5 minutes. Awesome.
All right, what's up, guys? I'm gonna wrap it up here. It's 10:30, so time to finish my trading for the day. I'm a little sad we didn't get more action on NNBC before, I had to go. I'm sure it's going to give us another move at some point, either right before lunch hours or after lunch. But and I'll keep watching it just out of curiosity, but I'm not going to trade it anymore. As of right now, I have $1,182 profit, but I did take two pen and paper trades in the first 2 to 3 minutes. First trade was here at 9:31 when it broke back over $15,000 or 1,000 shares at 15. Selling 250 at 15.28 right here, and then it started moving so fast. 250 at 16, 250 at 17, and then the pop here I missed. 1650 on the way back down. So, well, that was actually over here. And while all this was happening, I was also trying to get filled on the on the simulator, which I got to go back and watch the video on that because my fills were just all over the place. It was just ridiculous. Also, I took a pen and paper trade on CBLI because I had it on my other monitor. Oh, turn him down. So right out of the gates, whoops. Oh man, sometimes these charts really get on my nerves. Okay, so 393, 3,000 shares. A little high. I would have liked to have gotten lower, but 3,000. Sold 1,500 at 490. It hit 490 several times. It kept hitting 4. I thought it was going to go get halted, but it did not. And then obviously, I didn't get any higher. 1,500 at 485. Because it held around this level for a good while. It wasn't breaking, so I just went ahead and 485, whatever. And then I waited to see if it broke 5 or pulled back. It pulled back and didn't give us another opportunity. I did take a trade on it in the simulator. What time was that? CBLI. 940. Right here. Okay. So I thought it might be U-shaping and going around, but it didn't. Got rejected. So that's why it's red here. I don't know how much this trade, was. I'll do all the calculations on that later while my son naps. So like I said, in the simulator, I'm up almost $1,200. The 2 pen and paper trades I took, I have no clue how much they, how much profit they will bring, because I don't do the math. I just plug it into TraderView and it does the math for me. So that's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow to see if we can make some more profit. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.